but rather the political leanings of the person or institution facing accusations. Christianity, for example, is, of course, heretical, a doctrine of blasphemy that spits in the face of the woke party and undermines everything children we stand for. So it is perfectly acceptable for the New York Times to exhaustively vilify the Catholic Church for pedophilia, to hold the Pope responsible for the actions of his members, but not the BBC or the New York Times. Remember, woke party standards apply to our enemies. And in our next lesson, we will educate you more on racism, which surrounds you at all times, often by your own doing. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. And you, as children, are the future. With your help, we are quickly, unreservedly seizing control of your future. And by seizing control of you, by replacing your ideas with our ideas, your identity is with an identity of our choosing. Now remember, watch your parents, and let's change the world. This is an amazing time that we live in. Last night we told you that Netflix started this show called Cuties, which is sexualizing our children, and it's not a surprise. One of the guys who helped write the manifesto about destroying families and children and normalizing all sexual practices, he's the guy who is the watchdog for equality and diversity at Netflix. So, of course, that's what you're going to have in all of these shows. But this is all connected. Everything that is happening is connected. And it's all connected to destroying our values, our principles, what truly made us good, which made us great. Our families, they're under attack. I'm working on a special now that just last night I thought might be too controversial, and then I read from the leftist rag, the Daily Beast. They're open about it. They are open about it and have been planning for it, the left. Called Civil War, How America Ends Before the End of the Year. Your children are under attack, and in so many evil ways. In California, a bill that went through their assembly passed overwhelmingly, lowering the penalties for adults who have sexual relationships with minors. Who thinks that's okay? As we just said in the Citizen Report, the New York Times. Remember when we said this would normalize everything, pedophilia, and everybody said, no, it's stupid. No, it is. It's here. How about this from the textbooks that we showed you last night? 27 states have now adopted this, and it may not be in a state that adopted it, but it might be where it's in a school district. It can in a school district. How about teaching your 12 to 15-year-old? There's a common misperception that young people are not or should not be sexual beings, with the exception of certain groups such as married young people or young people who are above a certain age. Sexuality is a central aspect of being human during all phases of each person's life. Notice they say, no matter what age, at all phases of a person's life. There is no exception or distinction for toddlers or babies, because the same teachings say that babies in kindergarten, they are taught that you are a sexual being and you should feel comfortable exploring yourself, and that even infants are sexual and should be taught to explore themselves. This is from the Healthy Teen Network, one of the groups that pushed this all through from California. sexting. Did you know one study found women were 4 times more likely to say they sent a sext to feel empowered and twice as likely to say they did it to feel confident? Read more about why people sext. Not sure how to sext? Click here for some ideas on how. No thank you. Number 2, solo sex. Don't know how to have solo sex? How to masturbate? Click here for tips. How about this one? Number 3, porn. Despite mixed messages out there about porn, it is often a very healthy part of people's sexuality. You know, as an adult, you want to do what you want to do, that's fine. You're pushing porn on my children? No. Studies show the brain changes with pornography. And it has to become, for at least guys who are more visual, more and more depraved. Women, feminists, you should be crying out against this. Number 4 is date yourself. I don't know what the difference is. Maybe you buy yourself dinner before you have solo sex. And number 5 is go online. Now imagine telling a young kid, you're bored? Go online and just seek out some sex experts who are sharing resources on mental health, how to use sex toys, tips for dirty talk, communication, consent, and how race, class, and gender are all power tools that show up in sexuality. Check these sites out. Click here. This thing, you would... honestly, if I had somebody hand this document to my kid, I'd grab my shotgun. And if they were on my land and wouldn't get off my land, I would be very tempted to protect my family with my Second Amendment. What the hell are you doing? You don't care. People don't care. They think it's a conspiracy. They think that it's not that prevalent. It's in 27 states. It's called CSE. It may be in your independent school. For instance, it's not in Texas as a state, but it is in Austin. It's all throughout California, 27 states. Is it in yours? Now, you ask, CSE, are we teaching CSE? Are we doing this in our school? You prepare. You're going to be treated like a pariah. You're going to be treated like a moron. But if you listen to somebody today say, oh my gosh, you see what's on Netflix. See what's on Netflix. See what's in our children's classrooms. Written by the same people for the same goal of destroying the Western way of life. Not hyperbole, in their own words, that's what they're trying to do. Find out more at blazetv.com. You can see the special that we ran last night. More in just a second.